Hello and welcome. Oh my word, this is a long way. Welcome to What Have I Just Read with Alison, with Anastasia, with Michael, with Malcolm.
And with the jingle.
And the jingle.
The jingle's back.
Jingle. So we're four of us today.
Wonderful. It's back with a vengeance, isn't it? It's great to have you guys back again. We've missed morning prayer. Missed morning prayer. We've missed what have we just read.
Yeah, well, and thank you for doing morning prayer as well.
It was a lot of fun, actually. Yeah. Having to turn up on time.
Before time, actually.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. So we're in Golden Calf. It's a good one to come back to. I mean, it's a good reading, isn't it? Good old.
Yeah.
One of the great big stories.
I know.
So your people are perverse.
Yeah.
They act perversely.
Sorry, you're going to have to...
Yeah, your people act perversely. That's the thing that sort of really stood out for me. That only just, they've been seeing all these amazing signs, and then the next thing you know is, they can't, they can't wait. They can't wait.
Read on Saturday, it was a big thing of Aaron being
Hang on.
big thing of Aaron being made into a priest, right? That was the last reading we had on Saturday morning, and now he's off doing his own thing.
All the preparations, all the pomegranate and the bells and the things and the plates on his shoulders, and it didn't help him to just say, "Oh, never mind, God. This golden calf has brought you out of Egypt." How did this even come into his head?
He lost the plot.
And I like it because they think, Moses is taking so much time up the mountain. They think, oh, well, he's gone, he's abandoned us, so we'll forget him. And so, we'll just, he says, get your, all the jewelry, please, and then we'll make this golden calf. Interestingly, they make the golden calf, but then Aaron says, we'll have a feast to the Lord. Yes. So he's actually identifying the Lord, the name of God, with the golden calf.
It's funny how people need something visual, like a visual representation. They can't just, it's very hard to live in uncertainty, and they just need something to hold on to. And if Moses isn't there, God is invisible, there is no pillar of anything anymore, then let's just make the calf, and that's comforting somehow for people.
Yeah.
And it's a very interesting point what you made, actually, because I was just looking back in the text, because actually they say, the people say, these are your gods of Israel who bought, he took, did he say, Aaron took the golden calf, formed it in a mold and cast it?
No, they say.
They say the gods, don't they? And then he says, as you said, tomorrow shall be a festival to the Lord.
So it's almost, he tries to sort of orthodoxize their heresy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But the fact that making the golden calf in the first place was the problem.
Yeah.
But then notice Moses, because God says to Moses, okay, I'm going to wipe out these people, and I'm going to make you, it'll be you will be the founding person. I won't abandon my promise to Abraham and Isaac, because it will still be through you, but it'll be through you. And Moses then prays and says, God, please don't do that.
He intercedes, doesn't he, on their behalf?
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And I just love that last line. And the Lord changed his mind about the disaster that he planned to bring on his people. I thought, wow.
Is this sort of one of the times where, in the Bible, where someone does make God change his mind? People say this, don't they? This is sort of one of the times. Is that right, Malcolm?
Well, yes. I mean, it's sort of one of those big questions. Right. There are other times when God seems to change his mind, but...
But that's one of the times when someone pre-shadows or kind of announces Jesus, right? Because he says, okay, don't touch them, take me instead, right? Is that what he says? No, sorry, he just bargains with him and he says,
prays.
It doesn't make sense for you to just, it won't look good on your PR. People won't.
But it's very interesting.
It's God's PR.
Because Moses' way to say, look, humans are humans. And is it sort of saying, can't we forgive these guys and give them a second chance? Isn't that, which is kind of what Jesus comes and
he doesn't actually. Yeah. I mean, the main thrust of his prayer is, God, it's about your glory and your honour. And what will people think?
Yes, you're right. Isn't it? I thought actually Moses was the ultimate negotiator here, because it was, and the Egyptians would say it was with evil intent that he brought them out to kill them in the mountains and to consume them. And I thought that was a clever argument.
Yeah. He was his comms department.
He was PR guy.
Exactly.
It's all about optics.
Moses, the ultimate kind of the ultimate.
And then the second reading was Luke 2:41. I don't think we actually said what that first reading was. It was Exodus 32.
Indeed.
But now Luke 2.
And it's amazing. I just love them. It's obviously very different times. They go traveling, and they just assumed that Jesus was in the group of travelers, and they went off without checking.
I love that. I love that.
Hang on a moment.
And then they blame him. They're like, "Why did you act so mean towards us?"
Yes, exactly.
So funny. So I guess the children were like a separate unit, and they would all be in a group somewhere with one of the donkeys or the.
But it is weird because it does require a total rethink. Because I was in Dubai staying with my nephew. They don't lock their doors. Their flats. No. And I couldn't get over. I was like, how can we possibly go for the whole day and not lock the door of your flat? Is it no one steals anything here? And literally, it was literally kind of like this. It's like you go travelling and you don't check your kids because you know they're going to be with the group.
Yeah, it is very Spring Harvest, where a big Christian festival in the UK, where somebody said you just let your children roam free because it's within a sort of this confined area, and somebody said the only thing you worry about is your children might come to some good.
Right.
So, but here's Jesus wandering off, and then they find him. It's interesting. There's so much here, but where she says, your father and I have been worried, and Jesus says, didn't you realize I had to be in my father's house?
Yeah.
So just sort of, if you like, again that slight distancing and just saying.
And I love the fact they said they did not understand what he said to them. Isn't that interesting? He's spoken, they didn't really get it. Yeah, exactly. It's like 12. Exactly. The wisdom of someone much older.
I also really like the description of what he was doing while he was in the temple. So he was asking good questions to the priests, but they were amazed at his answers. So it seems like it was a conversation of... He wasn't just learning, he was teaching the priests, and he had wisdom at least comparable with the priest or higher than the priest, because they would ask him questions and marvel at his answers.
And it's interesting how that changes, isn't it? Because it's like they marvel at his answers here, and yet later on when he's preaching, when he's older on his ministry, they're always out there to pick apart his answers.
But even then, they're quite astounded,
Right. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Great.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us today. That's
Great.
really nice.
And may this be the
It's
start
so good
of
to
many
have
more.
you back.
Yes, it's great.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And I hope to see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Great.